Pranakasha livestream.
Hi folks, it's Matt at Pranakasha Productions for another Gabunja update. Gabunja being the Gabunja International Volunteer Program with CEO Emmanuel Balo. And today we have a special guest, Alexander Nufatale. So Gabunja is all about helping people in Africa, especially in Liberia, helping underserved people, poor people, people that have disabilities, and especially kids that need to go into school. All these things are initiatives that Gabunja International partakes in, and we're going to talk all about those things today. So go ahead, Emmanuel, and let's hear what you guys are up to.
Well, I want to say good morning to you all in Central Washington or other part of the United States. And I want to say good afternoon to Liberia, good morning, good evening. However, it might be back there. Today we have Alexander Nefatari, which is going to be our guest, and he's going to be a part of the Gabunja International Volunteer Program, which of course is sent in his CV, and we peruse it. It is prudent enough, and we need such people like that on board. So today you're going to hear a lot of discussion from him and me. So today's discussion is going to be an exclusive one. So thank you so much for being here. Oh, let me turn the camera so Alexander can introduce himself. Alexander, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm okay, Emmanuel. I'd like to say good morning from your end in the United States. And let's say good afternoon, Liberians here in Liberia, also following the show. My name is Alexander Nufatale, and I come from the Better and the group. I know the name is kind of difficult to pronounce, but that's a fictional name. And I've actually been, following up the Gabunja volunteer activities online. I went through the website of the organization, and that's how I got attracted to the activities, more especially like what you already said, giving out to less, fortunate children in Liberia, feeding of cakes and other things. So I got attracted. So that's how I really did not see a vacancy, but rather I got impressed from the work of the institution. And I just submitted my CV to Emmanuel. So that's how, we got connected. And I'll be on the show this afternoon.
Hello there. We have lost the audio connection.
Yeah, hello. Are you there? Can you?
I can hear it dropped out. Adjusting the gain on the podcaster microphone, aka the Yeti. We've gone completely silent. You can't even hear a stray bird chirping. Here in the Seattle area, it's 6:15 in the morning. Most of the folks are blissfully snoring away, partaking in their last few vestiges of reverie before rudely being awakened by their alarm clocks and facing a new day at work, such as it is. Meanwhile, we just hear random clickings of phones. And
Hello, Uncle Mark. Your voice connection is so terrible. We can't understand what you are saying.
Yeah,
we can't understand what you're trying to say.
Continues to be garbled. So we may be shot down once again because for some reason our internet connection today is just about as bad as last time.
We are getting you. I don't already know what was going on for this. So just talk again. Let me see how it's sounding right now.
Yeah. Well, your sound is really breaking up. Yeah.
I think it's much better. I think it's much better because I can hear you clearly. You are splendid. So
Oh,
I think
good.
we can proceed because there is no time right now.
Okay, go ahead. And I'll just edit out
Yeah,
all
the
that.
internet.
I'll do it.
Okay.
So go ahead. Just start talking.
Sure.
Yeah. Hello. Can you get me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. That sounds pretty good.
Okay, that's good. Perfect. Yes, like I was saying, I'm Alexander Nufatade. I I'm in Liberia, and I've been monitoring your activities via the internet. That's how I got connected to the Gabanja International Volunteer Activities. More especially, I saw the institution giving out to less fortunate children in Liberia in terms of providing meals for these children, school-going children, and also providing some tutorial activities for students, less fortunate students in Liberia, because we have kids that the parents cannot afford. At the average level in Liberia, a lot of children cannot afford. About 8% of the Liberian children population cannot really afford the means to go to school, to have a meal 3 times a day. So those opportunities are not really provided for us here in Liberia. So Gabanja came in and doing such marvelous work there. So that's how I got attracted to the activities, and I followed all of your activities here in Liberia, and I was attracted to it. There was no vacancy posted to apply for a position to be a volunteer for the Gabanja Volunteer International, but rather I just thought it was because of the passion I created for my tour Emmanuel, Balu here in Liberia, and he and I since that day that we've been we just got connected a few days when he appeared on ECOWAS radio, giving us some instances and some works about the Gabanja Volunteer International. So that's how he gave me the call, and we had a scheduled meeting to have a chat with you here. So it's good meeting you again once more, and I'm open up to any other questions, any other concern. I will be willing to provide any other clarity.
Right. Well, it's exciting. So yeah, Gabanja, I mean, it was all about expanding, and right now it's sort of the charitable stuff that they're doing is somewhat small scale. It's just on the level of one village, but then of course once they learn how to get more funding and gain more expertise and more volunteers in the program, then it will expand, because as you said, there's a whole bunch of opportunities for such things like that in Liberia especially, but also throughout Africa. So the sky's the limit. So Emmanuel, do you want to add anything to that?
Yes. Firstly, I wanted to thank you, Mr. Alexander Nefertua, for coming up, being bold enough, and then speaking of your mind, what got you inspired, what influenced you, that you want to be a part of the Kabanja initiative. It is because of the passion you carry for humanitarian, because of your humanitarian thought. So you got inspired when you see Gabanja activities on the internet, providing scholarship, meals, activated tutorial cells in rural community, same time, giving to less privileged ones, most especially the disadvantaged youth. And I want to say thank you so much. So My question is gonna what is your thought because the Gabanja International Volunteer Program is not providing any of compensation or having staff on the payroll. This is a newly established grassroots institution that being existence, but I'm not yet fully able to see how best she can pay her staffs, and she's not know the direction how she can organize other programs that can solicit funds. So if you are going to be a part of the Bahanja Monitor program, what is going to be your contribution?
Well, thank you very much, Emmanuel, for such a wonderful question. Volunteering is all about passions. Once you have the passion to do something, you go into it and forget about remuneration in terms of funds tomorrow. If the opportunity exists, then that'll be good. But for now, like we've been chatting, I have the passion to volunteer because I've been doing that before. Like I told you, I have worked in other sectors for 6, 7 years. I almost in Liberia. But my first place of work, I was incorporated from the community. The community brought me to where I was, to learn on the job. And later on, I got employed from the intervention of the community. So that's how I got employed. And later, when I got employed, I took office. I decided not to sit there. I decided to give back to the community that helped me. So what I was doing, we had the school-going casing, the rural area of Liberia. They don't have access to technology. They don't have computer knowledge. So what I did, I used to take my computer to the institution back there and give a free, tutorial to this case. I talked with the school authorities and I provided them a pamphlet, of those things. And I made sure I used to go there Tuesday and Thursday. Make sure, I leave my work and go and do that. So that was a way of volunteering what about. And I'm hoping that one of these days, if I reach my peak in the society, I will be also able to get to the less fortunate because I have a goal to establish an orphanage home tomorrow. That's my goal. And that's why I always asking God to put me in a reference, direct my path so those things can come to reality. So for now, to answer your question, the funding, it is not the problem to me. Like I told you, I have worked before, married to a beautiful woman, and I have my family. So we are managing, and I have a very strong and a productive woman. So in terms of keeping up the home, yeah, my wife and I, we are doing pretty well on that. So funding is not the problem right now. We just have to come in with the Gabanja International Volunteer Program to see how best we can provide our expertise, how best we can connect with others that we have worked with into the non-governmental organization sector, so that we can all fight, to lift the institution to another level, and so that the trickle-down effect, our Liberian children can have the trickle-down effect of the activities of the Gambanja International Volunteer.
Okay. So, Matt, do you listen to him?
Yeah, it came through very clear. So the video didn't really show much. Okay. It's just a still, but we can hear all of what Alexander said. Oh, and there was a bit of static, but it wasn't horribly garbled. So we could get it.
Sure. So do you have question or I should continue?
Go ahead.
Do you have question for Alexander based on his CV that we sent you?
Yeah. Okay. So
okay.
So Alexander has experience. So he said he has quite a bit of experience doing this kind of thing. So for Alexander, what particularly attracts you to Gabanja? What do you see? What are the strengths that Gabanja shows to you, and the opportunities that you see that Gabanja can achieve?
Thank you very much for such a question. And what really attracted me to Gabanja It's all about should I say the PRO component of it. That's the public relation aspect, because Gabanja use of the internet, and I'm a good internet user. I make good research. So I got in touch with your activities, and I went to your website. I saw the activities, being highlighted, and I said, "Wow, that's a good initiative." You know, Let me just take you to the national level in Liberia. Under the Ministry of Education here in Liberia, we have a component that we have, called the school feeding program in Liberia, where less fortunate children, they are always falling into the public schools, and the private schools are people that can afford. But here in Liberia, we have a school feeding component program at the Ministry of Education, but that it is not really, been implemented to a level that you will see the deliverables. So seeing Gabanja coming on, because these are the children, some of these children that go to the public schools, the parents, like I said, cannot afford. So these children cannot even afford to get a meal to eat in the morning before going to school. So if you have to get the child, doing a lot of activities, a lot of work in the morning before going to school, there's no breakfast. I mean, it is a day service that kind of, the child upbringing. So if the child go to school, the child will not really concentrate, will not pick up anything. I mean, because they are not really fully comfortable. They are hungry. Right. So seeing Gabanja filling over 500 cases, and I see the case, with the new, smile on their faces and other things. So that's really, movement. It's movement. Right. Let's just go back to my experience home. If God bless us, we have a meal to eat. That's why I always tell my children that we should not, waste meal, because what you have right now to eat, other people don't have to eat, at the nearer, the nearby home. So you got to manage that in a sustainable manner. So that's how I got really attracted. It was the strength of Gabanja, the activities, and I already saw it that, yeah, this is an institution that need work for our library, and I don't think I can sit on the fence. I have to be part of this entire situation. So that's how I came in, and we all pray that we work alone, both domestically here in Liberia and internationally. While you guys are also doing well, in that direction. Like I was just asking Emmanuel about the registration of the institution that which he told me that they've done both internationally and nationally. And here, I was also telling him that we can, widen our activities. We can, strategize. We have to have people that have passion like us. Maybe bringing a program director, a program coordinator, fee officer, that are willing to take the institution from this level to another level. And in doing that, I was just telling you, we have to have a mini office space. Absolutely. That we will have. And once we have an office space, you are a registered institution already in Liberia, and you have been existing for over 2 years, and doing a lot of activities, tangible activities, and the records are there. So we can liaise with other institutions, like other Liberia, like for example, other NGO like the Mill. Mill is an institution that is, into school feeding, and they have a very robust school feeding program in Liberia. Right. So, but if the law is over, let's say, flowing on them, they look for others, local implementing partner, grassroots organization to give us more deliverables. So I work with one institution, and they had a warehouse there. I know most of the activities, but they do have most friends that are connected to them. So if we have those things, our program is networking. We can also network with them, and bring in, because every institution that want to network with you, they gotta come and see you, your establishment, your office space, and then you can move on with this thing, because a lot of international institutions has programs, and they can also trust other grassroots organizations to implement the program to get the tangibles that they want to get at the end of the day.
Oh, great. Okay. So I could might Mr. Alexander Lefetula make a select point. So I want to ask you, Mr. Alexander Lefetula.
Yeah.
So how much do you think can give us a mini office space to pay for public of Liberia?
Already, I have to do a follow-up. I have to do a follow-up on that, and I will, inform you in subsequent time because I don't want to jump right now.
Sure.
Because, like where we were, but it's a big, component of because I've been volunteering with other institutions, like I told you, the nature company, the into environmental issue,
Okay.
and the CEO of that institution, he and myself worked together before. But he told me during he was renting, or he's renting currently rather, he did 400 a month. Yeah, so 400 US a month. So I think he did for a couple of years or whatever. Yeah, but if we just want a mini a space, maybe just a little compartment, I don't think it will be to that level. But we have to do the follow up, and I'll get back to you. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
Another
no.
thing I want to ask you is that, firstly, before I ask you that questions of view across the world, Uncle Mike, Francis Holchip, or Joseph Leo, or Prince Abaka, and all of the 25 staffers within this institution, there are a lot of great people, right? And Matt came in, he's been our financial advisor. Whatsoever expenditure we made, it is on account of Matt as the financial advisor in this institution. And we got other young men like Joseph Leo, who that is very much influential, who into the entertainment aspect of this institution,
Right.
where it was about helping the kids, preparing the new song, the biblical dramas, just to put smile on the kids' face. Do a lot of amusement programs. And now we don't have that person who that thinks out of the box that, oh yes, when I come in, we can be able to list with other institutions. We can, once we call that we have one of our brethren on this platform by the name of Elisha or Cephas. Elisha, I think both Cephas. His my instructors are the Noah's Ark School. And it once came here, gave me the opportunity to appear on this platform, and there was a lot of questions that were proposed to him. And according to him, that he sees Gabanja in terms of sustainability, there should be a level of transparency.
Right.
There should be a level of accountability, and there should be a level of inclusiveness. And Gabanja, we are lacking of the come on the line of transparency. We are transparent. When it comes on the line of accountability, we are accountable for everything that we do. But we don't speak it out. It's our work and our action that speak those things out. But for us to get people who that is technical in terms of how can Gabanja leave the mango tree to excel to highest level. Like when we read your CV, we feel impressed that your intervention to be within the Gabanja International Volunteer Program is a plus. Meaning that in the Gabanja International Volunteer Program, gradually we're going to excel in our dream and we're going to help. Because our paramount concern is to see how we can give out to the less privileged. But it is not easy, you understand? So we need other young men who that is mentally strong, who that thinks, how can we live with other institutions? How can we get the partnership, do a grant proposal that we can be able to solicit funds and then see how best we can continue our meals program for those 1,500 to see how best we can continue with our scholarship program, to see how best we can continue rendering assistance to the blind people and providing job opportunities that we can help national government in terms of empowerment. And not just that, but reaching in the rural area where we're going to stop mortal infant pregnancy, teenage pregnancy. So these are some of the things. And this is my question to you. Will you be able to manage the Gabanja International Volunteer Program within Africa chapter?
Well,
in terms of growth and sustainability?
If you just come in with a straight answer, I would say yes. And that's some, ingredients to my yes, to say I can do that because of my, past activities, like I, previously said, in the sector. And you just spoke about, even going nationwide. I mean, you have to extend the net, area of Liberia, maybe into database issue, thing.
Dang it, we just lost him.
Yeah,
Do you hear me?
We lost the last minute or so.
Okay, I think you just don't try to call me. Sorry.
Okay, like you rightly asked if I can, sustain and manage the Gabanja International Volunteer Program in Africa or Liberia to be specific. Like I say, yes, because of my past experience with some institution. After we can do that, we have the network. We already established network. We've been working, like I told you, for over 6-7 years. So have connections. We can do projects. We can do something like that into the process. We can fundraising rally because we have to manage to generate funds domestically. If even you have international support, but you have to do something. As a saying go in our library content, if someone is helping you to wash your stomach, or your black radish should also help you to wash your own stomach. So that's how it should be like with me, and that's why I always believe in productivity. Everything that I believe in productivity, and you just said transparency and accountability in every institution you work with. It should be the whole matter of the entire institution. That should be the bedrock. That should be the pillar of the institution in terms of sustaining such institution. So, like I regularly said, we have the experience working with those international NGOs. We were doing our research on the low attendance. What causing the low attendance of female in secondary school? What causing the low retention? I mean, if you enter the school, you should be able to retain yourself until you can graduate. And what's causing the low completion? So we had this questionnaires, we had this questionnaires with us. We went about and then we saw a lot of things. Some people would say, oh yeah, this is a traditional issue in a rural area. The female is not, liable to go to school. The female got to sit home and do the family work, while the boys children go to school. And, added marriages, other things. So we know some of these things that are happening in Liberia. So having given the opportunity right now to, serve steward of the Gabanja Volunteer International, I think we can bring some, new innovation to the table that you and the others, top official of the organization that we can do our best and we can lift Gabanja from this level to another level. So, I don't really like, 3 or 4 questions. So that's why I just have to draw it a little bit here.
Okay. So, Matt, do you have questions to ask Alexander?
No, actually, you pretty well covered it. So there's not a whole lot that comes to mind. Yeah, really. I mean, he's covered it all. It's a little bit hard still because of the connection. So,
Okay.
I did. Well, okay, here's a question for you.
Yeah,
So you said it's important to have international financial support. So like, for example, Pranakasha Productions is providing some funds each month to help sustain the especially the school lunch program. And then also we created that GoFundMe. and helped get a lot of the kids in school, and also buy backpacks for the other kids that are taking part in the tutoring who didn't actually get to go into the actual public school. There's many kids who still come to the tutoring classes at the community center, and they get backpacks and then notebooks and things like that. So we got all that happening. But you also said that it's important to have domestic funding. So in other words, it's important to have people within Liberia, local people that aren't just on a completely survivalistic level where they're not starving, they're not poor, they're I guess what you would call maybe middle class or upper class Liberians, to get their interest and get their financial support. You were saying that that's an important piece that Gabanja has to achieve. Is that correct?
Sure. Actually,
Yeah, just paraphrase that question.
okay, they said that you're talking about domestic needs. In other words, in Liberia, the middle class, the upper class Liberians, in order for Gabanja to sort of say form, if it is right.
Oh yes, it is quite correct that you know we have to develop programs that we developed for the institution. Uh, it is true, but Liberia is a blessed country, and we have people that live some average life. They want to give out really. They want to give out to this kind of what they cost. But the issue we have in Liberia is accountability. Accountability is one of the main problems. And because of some problems that people have, maybe they want to invest in a particular institution. But if you invest into the institution and you cannot see those tangibles, you
Right.
cannot show what you have, achieved at the end of the day. So that's how a lot of people, even from Liberia or even the diaspora, get somehow frustrated of giving up humanitarian assistance to institution. But like you regularly said over the past time, and I listened to you in terms of transparency. This is one of the best thing I've heard. Let me just give you I come from culture. I was supervising about 163 so it's doing a data collection that have to funding to government, because government take about 40%, community take about another 10%, the company take its own percentage. So if I collect the data, other thing, and the workers themselves, they are working, and they need to get the just benefit at the end of the month. So let's, for example, I had a situation that every month, if for example this guy's will get about $500 from his work he had done, then because I'm controlling the data, somebody they don't read and write, they don't all the mathematics to calculate their own funds, and they created a network from my own office in Monrovia up to Lofa, because there I was that we should cut down that fund, cut down the money, give the person $250. Then the other 250 leave in the network and we share among ourselves. So I told them squarely that I never had interest in it. I never had interest in it because it was not a fund that we should eat. It was not necessary. It was corruption.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I cannot accept that kind of money. So what I did is like what I did is like I told the worker concerned, okay, this is the data I have funds. So I have my record. Every time I work with e assessment, I give you a record. You carry home. If you cannot read and write, you have a child that can read and write. They will be able to do the calculation, and at the end of the day, when a figure is displayed on the bulletin, you will know how much you will get. And that system, I live with that system. I mean, everything was okay. Every time the guys take I mean, it will be like a hot taking day, because everybody will come to appreciate him. That was a clean sheet money. So you come to me, you give me a token or whatever, I appreciate that. So transparency and accountability is very much, cardinal. So
Right.
raising funds here in Liberia, we can knock those. We can knock those on other people, and we'll make sure that funds they give us to do a piece of job, we'll do the job and give a report to them. The next time you go to them, and they'll be able to buttress, yeah. So in raising funds in Liberia, more especially now, this is the political season. So we have a lot of politicians that want to, showcase the strength and other thing. Yeah, yeah. So it's just how Liberia is right now, but we have a lot of opportunities that we can go and make money. That you and I were, the coastal, portion of Liberia, looking at the mangrove, it's been mismanaged. But but if just come, with violation to manage the mangrove, you see a lot of, but I can tell you for sure that we can work on that. We can work on local fundraising. And let me just give an institution like in Liberia. I don't want to be so to call their name, but because of this internet connection, I got connected with them, a local volunteer program, right, under the United Nations. For theirs, they are collecting funds. Can you imagine? You go there for registration, you have to pay. I don't think it's a wrong issue, right? Once you have, they say what your money is, that's where your pressure is. That's where your heartbeat is. So I keep myself down and say, wow, registration, a volunteer. Later on, I begin to think, I think it's good because you have to sustain the institution.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you got to sustain the institution. But the only problem I have now, the trust was not there, to really seriously using the fund for the intended purpose. So, yeah, we can do well if we come on board.
Okay. Oh, that's great. Mr. Alexander Futula stated that once you come on board, we can be able to bring a lot of change, and then we can do a being that believes in transparency and accountability. We have vast knowledge when it comes to working with non-governmental organizations because almost all of his life he has worked by serving humanity. When he graduated from school, according to his CV, 2010 from the University of Liberia, NGO rendered assistance for 7 consecutive years. And he decided to resign and see how best they can move forward to the institution, a grassroots institution, where he can come in and see how best he can elevate that institution by bringing forth his expertise to see how best he certify his humanitarian is hiring by helping the less privileged kids, most especially we're talking about the youth. But this is what I want to ask you. This is about the educational pillars. You said that you did your research by checking the Gabanja International Volunteer Program platform, social media platform, because you are a researcher, actually say. The Gabanja have 5 major pillars. These 5 major pillars that include of education, agriculture, infrastructure development, welfare, and that of health. And from the onset, as you're articulating, you mentioned about you suffering at that time, managing agricultural contractors. So, it drew my attention to say, oh, wow, you are very a nice guy that if we had you, which means you are creative enough. So how do you look at these 5 major pillars that the Gabanja is part of, that Gabanja have in her agenda?
Well, I think those are very solid pillars. Gabanja, try to lay on in terms of carry on our activities. More especially, let's talk about education. Education gave birth to almost all of those pillars, because you have to go to school, you have to read and write, before you can even talk about infrastructure, development. before you can talk about health. I mean, going to learn how to be a medical doctor, or you want to be a nurse, or you want to be an agriculturist. I mean, it just covers all. It just covers all. And you know, like if you see in my CV, like what I told you in my CV, uh, I'm not a guy that like to keep my career objective, in a static position. No, I like to open up the horizon of my career objective. So that means if I work in this segment and there's no opportunity because you see this our economy right now. The economy is driven to it already give priority to a particular profession. So if you are SYC agriculture, you just want to be within that area when there's no job for you. Then I mean you keep sitting home out of money. So my career objective has always like to open up. Yes, if everything is in my CV. Yeah, I already now went to a health institution, but I had opportunity to work with with health institution where we had to do vaccination and other things from the polio aspect. Because my uncle was a medical doctor. Yeah, so I'm too brave on that, seeing blood, choking needle and other things. So I couldn't do that. But I had the opportunity to work here in Maserati number 7, where I taking a survey on the alternative drugs. I mean, the rural blinded drugs, the availability of this drug in the government frontline health facilities. So we had the opportunity to work within that same sector. We just like fit in the entire era. Yeah, we fit in the.
Darn it, lost him again.
Hello.
I can hear you. I lost the picture, but now I can hear you, Emmanuel. I can hear you quite well.
Hello. Okay. Yeah, but I don't know what's happening just now.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you see us?
Yeah, I can. And actually, I can see you.
Okay,
I'm getting more
okay.
frames of video too.
Pillows are good. The pillows are very good, and all of the pillows we have already touched a little bit of them. So we can and working with those pillows and other thing like component. We have a lot of experience in that. Go back to my CV, our Burmese County, what I work with some smallholder farmers, some women groups, so we are giving also smart agricultural techniques. So right now the kitchen is taking over. So right now you got to bring that about that kind of agriculture, approach to the farm. We do all of those things. I mean, like I regularly said, the pillows are good, and going with that.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. So, Mike, do you have something to say? Do you got a question?
I think that's it. I think we should probably wrap it up for
Do you
today.
have any? Okay. Before we wrap it up, let me just ask Alex, and then he can come up with his pattern statement, and we can cut the statement so we can wrap it up. Okay. Alex, you mentioned about us in terms of us when but I started asking you class, middle class, do you think they can in terms of us on or rally or rally like reaching out to the people, maybe like other noble institutions like church or business people, those who have vision of becoming a politician, and what really is about, this is election, and I think this is the best that we can have other program. Also talks about us having office, we cannot have in the office. However, actually, right, if Gabanja have an office today, make our viewer across the world believe that, oh yes, you can. How do you know, in terms of the sustainability of
Guy, regular said if we have a office, uh, we can go about, just like I said, we can do a lot of proposal to other institutions
Right.
that we want to aid in the process of implementing some of the have a huge work about to implement some of those activities. We can raise, okay, have identify our you already done a lot of this work. You have the data of those less fortunate children, and it's not. We know that a lot of people in Liberia know that they are the less fortunate children that the parents. Some even they have gone have been a breadwinner to the family, how to sell in the street and a lot of things in the school. A lot of activities of there, ongoing and denying the children of some, basic fundamental rights, to the existing. So we have activities that we can do. We can from the lower class level, even we can do that from the where you come out into the like this is district or what this is not it, and a lot of people within this district you have families that are so that if you want to do a fundraising rally in this community, even you go about we have these are our children we have and where uh where are you like I said fundraising rally within district number 8 on go tree and I mean it's been made people rationally I mean it's not going to be just a one of raising rally project for example it we fundraising rally within district 8 that we will capture the lower the middle and the upper class we move a project right we also do that because people I always tell people like in my environment, I said if even if Alex is came in about bucks and I mean go and drive around and eating all of the good my neighbors' children, trading to get meal in school. I mean, pretty much it become very easy. So if you're making the $500, you need to reach out to other people so that they can provide, you know, to them, So if you do that fundraising within every district, I mean,
Okay.
for sure there are people in Liberia want to give a grassroots Gabanja International, but they only want to see you've been a transparent institution, you've been a institution that will be trusted, you've been
Okay.
an institution that will use those meager resource the specific purpose. So
Right.
we
Use
can
it.
do a fundraising,
Put that money to the
a
best
fundraising
use.
rally in every district within Maserati. We can do that.
Okay.
okay.
Great.
So, Okuwaj, you have heard all and viewer across the world, both diaspora and Africa at large. You have heard what Alexander Nafutula has and what motivated to be a part of in terms of managing it and taking. So, Mr. Alexander, do you have a party still? Those officials within the Gabanja International Board, the United States and Liberia?
Oh, thank you very much. I'm much this saying a big thing and appreciation to the crafter of the Gabanja Volunteer International Program, in person the board, Miles, and I heard Frank say the other day, and the other guy that I have never seen, but at least have this meeting right now to speak to them. I want to say thanks to you all, and more especially very much from Francis. He said that he lived in Liberia and he grew up in Liberia, and he knows living in a land of opportunities. He went back to his, a community home. I mean, that I couldn't really sleep, imagine just thinking a real person thing. I mean, you have such an experience, you get back, you have the opportunity to give back to others. So I want to say thank you very much. And here in Liberia, I want to say this is a wake-up call for all of our, Iraqis, both the religious community, the political community, whatever are into. You have to be a giver because the Bible said it. You give, what you receive.
Right.
It is more blessings to give, right, than to receive.
Right.
So I conclude
Sermon
on
of the
that. I
Mount.
want to say you got to be a giver. Thank you very much for the opportunity, and we hope we can always have this medium to express our view up there and make sure to have a tangible impact on the lives of our children in Liberia.
Thank you so much. Well, not say much because we are out of time. I want to say the listening road, and I want to encourage you to please be our prior sponsor back there. Continue on your good work, and I want to say thanks to all of the working staffs, our sponsors, our partners, our workers. Thank you again for giving all your listening ear. God bless. So
God bless.
God bless.
Take care.
Pranakasha Productions. Fantastic creations emerging spontaneously from the space of life. For the benefit of all beings everywhere. We gotta